Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I'm going to do one, maybe two things tonight. I've been plowing through a bunch of episodes and doing all the stuff that I do within Camtasia to edit it and get it all put together and then upload it to YouTube. And I've realized that a lot of the videos I've done for end of December, January, we're all around editor config generator, specifically this one style. And it's like, okay, that was probably a little bit too long. Need to break it up. So we're going to get back to analyzers in CSLA, but only because I done goofed. So I found a bug from Rocky that essentially comes down to this code that he found. Or that he had. It's interesting. He'll edit his sample projects to, do latest and greatest stuff. And then my analyzers kick in and he was like, oh, that was really cool. That was awesome. And I'm like, well, thank you. And then he finds a bug and then I feel stupid. And I really feel stupid about this one because this is one that I have known about, this case. And it never dawned on me. And again, this just shows how hard it is, I think, if you're not on the Roslyn team or I don't do this as my day job. I would love to do this as like a day job thing of writing analyzers and doing code analysis and refactorings and a whole bunch of stuff. That would be, really, really cool, but that's just not what I do. So the one thing I forgot here is in this code. Can you spot the bug? Probably not. What I forgot is this thing. Okay. And why is name of so important in this bug? It's because in this analyzer, if I come down here, you'll notice that what I do is, this is basically trying to see if you do any calls to any add methods on the rule context. And so I look for invocation expression syntax nodes and then see, do they start with add, blah, blah, blah. Well, the thing is, the name of is an invocation expression syntax. And you might go, why? The reason why is because before C#6, I can do this. I can say private void name of string thing. And that is perfectly valid, okay? And there's nothing wrong with this, okay? So what's interesting now is, let's say I did in here var, and let me take this off here. Okay, so let me do that, and let me kind of move it just closer to where I currently am. And I say var, yeah, that's fine. Var c is equal to name of context, okay? So in this case, C is actually going to be a string, and it's literally going to be context. Now watch what happens if I do this. Okay. Now you may look at this and go, well, wait a minute, that doesn't match because I don't return string here, okay? And now you're like, well, wait a minute, you're passing in context here, okay? Well, what if I say object thing, okay? And now you're like, well, wait a minute, we need to make this a static. So let's just make it a static. And eventually, okay, and this is a naming rule violation. These words must begin with uppercase characters name of, okay? But the point is, this now becomes a valid call. That actually resolves to this, okay? So the point is that name of is actually treated as an invocation expression. And you have to apparently weigh in the bowels of the compiler API. It has to look and say, well, if we found a name of, is it a name of that's literally an invocation expression, or is it a name of because somebody's trying to get the stringified version of the name? Okay, so this is why I think C# has not really that thrilled about adding keywords, because depending on the context of the keyword, and how it's used, it could mess up other things within your code that you already did. Make a static class called var and see what I mean by fun. Okay, so the problem is I'm not handling that, and so in this case, this comes back as null. Okay, so the fix is going to be pretty simple. Okay, but there's a couple of other things I'm going to do. One of them is I need to change this to a warning. Okay, and before I forget and know that we're going to fail a test because I've changed that. Right now, this is interesting when I was talking to Rocky about this bug, is right now the whole context.target was always this kind of in CSLA an escape hatch in your rules, and it really shouldn't be used in my opinion. Okay, so the problem is that Rocky's used it, and he's like, I know, because I was lazy or I was a bad coder, and it's funny to hear the person that wrote the framework saying, well, they did things because reasons, So, and I know you would be like, no, I've got perfectly good reasons for why I did it, or not. I don't know. Point is that we have this as an error. He's like, well, let's make it a warning for now, because that might be a little bit too harsh for people. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So what I want to do actually is have a test in here, okay, that basically analyzes when class is a business rule and calls add method and uses name of. Okay, and the reason why I want to have this test in here, say var c is equal to name of context. Okay, and I only want to do this just because I want to make sure that I will fix this, because right now what I believe this should do is fail. Okay, and actually throw an exception. And so when I fix this, this should no longer throw. That's at least the plan that I have right now. Okay. So that's disconcerting. Nothing ran. Why did nothing run? That's doesn't make a lot of sense. Does not make any sense. Why didn't... Okay. What? Time to shut down and start over. When things go wonky with the Test Explorer, you just stop and you start again, That's just what you do. That's one of the things that you do. So let's see now if it actually runs, because that would be nice. And are you actually building? Are you doing anything? No? No. Okay, I said run a test. Okay, you're going to do that now? I see a green bar. I see an arrow moving down, continually moving down. And it said it succeeded. We get... Okay. Oh, God. I think I know what the problem is. It's because version 2.2 is not found. I have 2.24. I'm not sure about this. But I think this is this thing where Microsoft is now removing SDKs. I don't follow all this because I've been kind of like tangentially hearing these things from the members in the team, and saying things like, you no longer have this. because it just will wipe away all the things that you previously had. And I've been hearing from people that was probably not the right thing for them to do. And I think I might not be happy on Twitter about this because, yeah, I'm wondering if I just see if other people are having yep. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, yeah. How do I fix this? Well, I could say 3.0 at least, right? I will have to check with Rocky, though, to see God, look at that coloring. It got all confused. It's like it doesn't even know what's good and what's bad. Let's see if it eventually resolves itself. Okay, build. Now it failed. Okay, so at least it failed. And, well, that's interesting. Expected 0, actually 1. Okay, now I'm even curiouser. Why does it think that? Step in. We're going to get all our diagnostics. Yes, we know that. I think this is actually behavior that's changed. That would actually used to throw an exception. And it's no longer doing that. I don't know if that's changed behavior. Yeah, now it's giving me a warning. That's something I want to ask on the Gitter channel maybe tomorrow if I remember. Is that I thought that this would actually raise it up, and now it seems like it's taking analyzer unhandle exceptions and making them warnings. And I don't know if that's changed or not. In any event, okay. Well, it still fails. We shouldn't get anything there. Okay, so what I think the way I could do this is a couple ways. I could literally put like the question thing here, but I think the right thing is to say not equal to null, or is and that. Yes. The one thing though about this is I'm not sure if that is going to work with the Lang version, which is latest. Now, latest for me is 8.0. But is that, this is .NET Standard 1.3. Does it... For right now, I'm just going to do this. Okay. Now let's run all tests and see what happens. And what I think should happen is I will not get an error in that case. And the other test that's looking for it to be an error, not be a warning, that should also work as well. Okay, so we'll see how many of these tests run, and it goes away, and I think because now it's going with the others, yeah. Yep, okay. Should pop those in. Okay, cool. So it fixed that as expected. What I should also do is close this, because it really does not like the coloring. There we go, that's better. Okay. Just to run the, well, no. The integration test is just kind of a smoke test to look at and go, okay, now those cases. This one's covered by the test itself, so that's fine. The one thing I do want to do, though, is look at this. So what I want to do is in current project is see where else am I doing this, and just make sure that I'm not going to have another case like that. Okay, so this is the one that I currently have, and we just fixed that one. So let's pin that for a second. Contains invocation expressor walker. Where is it being used? Make sure the invocation's containing type is not the same as the class that contains it. Find save assignment issues and analyzer. So this is I do check it here. Okay, so I'm doing the right thing in the sense that I am making sure. I do actually do the question mark equals thing. Well, it is saying here there's some unnecessary parentheses. Okay. If we've already done that here, what was it saying? Use pattern matching. Turn. Oh. That's a little cuter. That's me. I keep forgetting that stuff that you can do that. Just make it again. What is this reason 50 billion 470 whatever about, you know, making sure that you have tests. They don't cover everything. They're not perfect, but I can run them again and go, yes, that change was fine, and they all pass again. Okay. So we have that one. We already checked that one. Value manage backing fields walker. So in this case, because we checked to make sure it's not null, we're okay. Okay, I think that's all right. Same thing here, it would check for null. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. That, and we just set the invocation to that, okay. How to get invoked method name in Roslyn. I think I know how to do that now. And I'm also doing the checks here. So we're all good that way. You're going to give me some, no, not explicit type. Dear God, who would use explicit type? How dare you? Invert if, no, we don't need any of that. Okay. All right, so I think that's safe too. That should be safe. Should it? So you're just looking for those. Yeah, I think that's fine. Return value. That's probably fine. Find node. This is in the code fix. Probably didn't get here unless that was true. Same thing with that. Here's one that could fail. Is complete called an asynchronous business rule analyzer. And I bet if I wrote a testy test, yeah, don't we? There we go. If I wrote a test, var c is equal to the name of context, I bet this would fail. And it does. And it does. So if we do the thing we said invocation symbol not equal to null and this stuff, and then we say use pattern matching. Okay, and then we do we even need to say return? Yeah, you do. Okay, I was being a moron. Hey, I've had a beer. Okay. Because drinking alcohol makes you moronic, I guess. Let's see if this actually... Okay. So that's good. And then this last one. Yeah, another one is complete. Wait a minute. Oh, this isn't the code fix. Ah, yes. Okay. So in this case, what I'm doing is I'm looking for all the complete invocations. And I do want to be careful here. So we're going to need one more in this case. And for whatever reason, I kept commented code in there. Oh. I am an idiot. Think back, boys and girls, because what I did an episode where I did this whole thing where I changed how I am testing code fixes to make sure that they're correct. And now I basically have screwed myself because I need to actually do that. This was the old way of doing it. And if you look in here, the new verify changes async, you basically look and you do an exploration of the new root and say, you know, are the changes there that you think should be there? Okay. String title. So I think what we do is pass in this. Okay. And what I want to do is say assert r equal the number of roots of type invocation expression syntax to, can I just count? Yeah, I usually don't like doing this because reasons, but so this is what we expect to get is 1, and what we actually got is that. Okay, actually that's wrong. We should have 0. We should have no more invocations within this method. Okay. Good thing I caught this, because this is actually a wrong thing. This was the one that triggered all my stuff, and I never came back to actually fixing this. I'm gonna make Rocky. He can rubber stamp these from now with name of call. So now I want to have var c is equal to name of context. Okay. And what I want to do is say there should still be 1 in there. Okay. All right, let's see what that does. Okay, so it looked like it actually runs all the tests now. I can do because we're getting near time, I can do a run of the integration tests and just make sure, I'll put in 1 there just to make sure that it doesn't fail, actually for both of those. I'm babbling, but in any event, yeah, so that lesson be learned, you know, one again of those things that I learned in fact from somebody on the C# team told me that, and I just never really dawned in my head, or I did, and I had forgotten when I was writing these to do that. But now, remember, if you're ever looking for invocation expression syntaxes, you can not assume that you're going to get a symbol because it may not be part of a type, because you may have a name of in there. Okay. I think that's the rule I need in my head. So the other thing I was going to do, I may save for another episode. It's almost 10 o'clock. I want to finish my beer and get to bed. So, and I have to talk to Rocky about this in terms of changing the test assembly so that it's targeting 3.0 rather than 2.2. I guess I could go out and find the literal 2.2.0 SDK and install that on my machine. But I just want to talk to him and say, hey, is that something that we really should be doing or not? So I'm going to do that tomorrow. And then I'll commit this branch and make a PR out of it and all that other good stuff. So that is all I'm going to do. Okay, so I forgot. Okay, sorry. Time out. So the thing I was going to do is actually doing some performance analysis on not rocks, but editor config generator. I realized that, hey, I've got this integration tool that I have rigged so it goes off to these GitHub repositories, clones them if I don't have them, and or it will fetch if I do to get the latest. And then it just goes through all the code there and does the analysis. And I thought, well, I can change that a little bit so it's focused on just going through all the code and doing all the analysis. And so what I want to use is the performance analysis tools within Visual Studio, run it, and then see, are there any hotspots that I have that I should start looking about? Is there anything that sticks out and goes, I should really do something different here? So that, I've used the performance analysis tool in Visual Studio before, but I want to, use this again as another enforcement in my head of how to use it and just see if there's anything in there that sticks out that goes, yes, I should actually clean that up. We'll see. So that's all I'm going to do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.